Bella would very much like you to rub your tongue on her clitoris now. I've just watched Poor Things, the movie, starring Emma Stone as Bella. There are also other characters that you get familiar with in this movie. For example, William Dafoe's character, God, or Godwick. Mark Ruffalo's character, who I'm just going to call Player. Or Playboy. Who is the embodiment of what like a Playboy man is like he's literally that. He's a womanizer. He's trying to get into Bella's pants. There's loads of different things that he's constantly trying to do to be him who he is as a man. He's very much that character. I like the characters' stereotypes and archetypes and things that they do in this film, because it really does break conventions here and there between what a woman is and what a man is through Bella's eyes. So it's going to make a lot of sense. I'm going to give you some more context. Let's go, because I'm going to keep this review quite short. First off, I enjoyed this film. I think Poor Things is a great movie. It is very experimental compared to other films in its genre. What I mean is the setting, I'm presuming that the time frame is Victorian to Edwardian time frame. The reason why I get this flavour is because of the clothes that characters are wearing, also some of the scenery. Even though you go to quite exotic locations like Lisbon, you can kind of tell that it's of an era before our time. That I can say. I'm also not going to give you too many spoilers in this as well. Now, Bella's character, very interesting. Bella is Emma Stone. Very interesting character. At the start of the movie, you're introduced to her and Godwick, or God, that she likes to call him, in black and white. So this film starts off in black and white. As I said, very experimental. And there's literally a weird scene where God is burping bubbles. So you're like, what's going on in this film? Then that's how you're introduced to this film, and also Bella just kind of having some sort of mental illness or some sort of mental incapacity or disability. You can see that she's not quite all there with the way that she's acting in her body. That's the best way to put it without giving you too many spoilers. She's not acting her age or frame or how a woman acts, but she looks like a woman, and that is like a child in a woman's body, and how she goes on this huge journey that you're taking on, man. And you go on this journey with her, and the film begins to open up and add colour. So it isn't all in black and white. It then begins to add colour as you're going along Bella's journey, as she comes to age and become more intelligent. The film begins to add things to it. Now, at the beginning of the movie, it's disjointed because her brain might also be disjointed and some nodes might not be connecting. And there are things that add to that feeling in the movie. For example, the music is like broken strings in the background or unrhythmic piano chords that are playing. For example, that is in the background when Bella is deciding to discover her female reproductive organs because she's using fruit. Because she's like, what is that thing? What does it do? I'm going to stick fruit in there, that the nearest thing, and to see, does that fit in there? And you're like, that's literally a scene in this movie. Again, I'm not going to spoil too much for you, because when you watch it, you're going to be like, whoa. So it's there's something for people that are into period dramas as well. There's also some horror. I would say there's some horror. Because the character God, played by William Dafoe, is very much a scientist, a surgeon, and also somebody who performs, some would say scientific miracles. That's how you would put it, like a scientific miracle. He's a scientist, a surgeon, and also delivers lectures. So he's practically a professor. He's Dr. Frankenstein, if you will, who William Dafoe is playing. Is also disfigured himself. Not giving any spoilers as to why that is, but you get that revelation as well later on in the movie. Now, Bella I'm going to try and run through a lot more very quickly here for you. I'm going to skim through quite a few things right now. Now, Bella is his experiment. So what I'm going to say on that matter, Bella is Godric's experiment. There is also another character who comes into that situation to help. There and you know, Bella very naively at the time, becomes to in a relationship with him. So I'm going to say, I'm not going to ruin too much for you. Progressing forward, Bella, out of the nest of Godric, then goes to explore the world with Mark Ruffalo's character, who I like to call Player, because this dude 100% is a player. He's after a few things that, you know, players are after: vagina and money. Literally what he's after. So he sees Bella, this child in a woman's body, and he's like, I'm gonna take advantage of that, man. Like, she's hot. Like, at the end of the day, she is a woman in body, so yo, let's go for it. So that's literally what his character does. Now, Mark Ruffalo's range always been amazing, but I really do like him in this character. Actors really dive into the deep end with what they do in this movie as well. In the sex scenes, it's full body. You see everything in these sex scenes. So there's a few different positions that they do. And Bella, skipping over a lot of the movie now, Bella ends up in a brothel. Right, so as she's maturing and progressing and exploring the world, or, you know, being a free woman with no shame, she is presented with choices and situations that she faces that other women might have faced in their life. For example, prostitution, brothel. She sees it as like a win, because her vagina to her is one big ultra playground, bro. Like, she's got no shame with it. Like, there's little empathy as well. She doesn't empathy comes to her later on. Now, there are certain disabilities that people do have where empathy is missing in average things that they may do or interactions they have with other people. People on the autistic spectrum have this as well, where empathy is a missing aspect of how their day-to-day life, their day-to-day interactions, and it can be a hindrance, it can be a problem. And people that I know that have those types of conditions that affect their empathy, I've seen it can get them into trouble. Bella has this sort of thing as well, because, as I said, she's been experimented on. I'm not going to give you too much information as to what happened, because that's a revelation of the movie, and parts of her brain aren't as proficient as others. So that also becomes a strength of this movie, because it's like, I wonder what would happen if a beautiful woman didn't have all of the brain capacity of a beautiful woman of her body. So that's literally what happens throughout the entire movie. Now, there's another character called the Cynic, a black man, a cynic, who has a very pessimistic outlook on life. She encounters him, and he tries to practically break her spirits eventually by showing her the underbelly of the world and showing her some very dark things that are going on in the world. And Bella almost breaks at that moment. There is also some other breaking points that she almost has. One is very much a sex-driven breakage point of that sort of, the endorphins have gone from sex, and she no longer feels that anymore. She doesn't get that high that she used to from sex, and it's sort of matured into a fine wine, and now she is more mature and can use her mind that has now progressed at that point to have sex with people in a brothel in a very professional manner. And there is also themes of abuse. There's all these different things that happen in this movie. Now, with all of that crammed into this very short review that I'm doing of this, and not breaking down each shot and the stylistic approach of every single scene and thing that happens in this movie, the revelation that happens at the end, worth it. Watch it, because you're like, it's like a horror. It becomes a slight horror. There's a horror to it, and there's like a, oh no. Do you get what I mean? It's like So yeah, that's my 100% just real spoiler-free review of Poor Things. Acting performances are absolutely brilliant. There were some stars in here that I haven't mentioned. For example, there was an actor who was also in Harry Potter. That is also revealed as well at that moment. So I'm going to allow you to watch the film before I give you any information in a spoiler review. If you would like a spoiler review of Poor Things, let me know. I'm just giving you how I'm feeling about it right now because I just watched the film and I'm like, yo. So, did you enjoy it? Have you watched Poor Things? What do you think about it? I'm just giving you a quick review. Thank you for watching this one. There's more where that came from, of course. If you thumbs up enough, if I get enough thumbs up and likes, I'll make some more reviews of movies. This is just 100% me talking to you, one-on-one, or one on whoever's behind the camera. Let me know what you thought of this review. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I'm going to sip on my tea now. Anthony is going to sip on his tea. Maybe have some fellatio. See you in the next one.